Okay.
Recording started.
Last we left off, you are in the process of leaving Riscia. Bowen Novastrike astride his partner Slinky, and you run into a little bit of a thorny problem. A problem you guys handle with surprising ease. Including a miffed tiefling who really didn't get any damage off on it. I believe she's back at the wagon sulking.
Screw you too.
So, as y'all are moving on, Bowen and Slinky are walking beside y'all, and Aleyna is actually pointedly ignoring him. She's in the wagon, poring over a tome that was given to her. And as y'all leave Riscia, the wagon is in order, and, as per usual, they're all hitched together in some way or form. But now you have an idea of just how vast this wagon is that you're protecting. Others have joined with goods, others have joined with empty drays, one of which you just filled with gobel skin. Should make a handy little dent in your lack of money. So, what is on everyone's mind as we start traveling?
I should have just insulted it to death.
You know, instead of whining, you can just relax.
What's this about wine? I'm a pirate.
This is the most uptight one of all.
I'd rather have rum than wine anyway.
Maybe you'll find some at one of the villages we're gonna hit. And as we're traveling, day turns to dusk, and it's time to pick who's going to be on night guard. You have a month's travel to Calilea. And for once, Aleyna doesn't seem to be jumping out of her skin to get away from y'all. She's too engrossed in this book at a desk in the back of the wagon.
Speaking of books, how's that book you're reading going, Flikk'a?
I haven't had any chance to really do anything with it yet.
In terms of night watch, I mean, realistically, Corey is on the roof at all times anyway. It makes him happy.
Alright.
And after how things went in Riscia, I wouldn't say he's avoiding everyone, but he's trying to spend a little more time on his own. So he would probably volunteer for being awake at night to keep an eye out.
Alright, is anyone gonna help for night watch, or is Corey on his own?
I'll help.
Alright, Corey, I need a perception check at advantage. And Flikk'a, are you going to spend some time also perusing this book?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to figure it out. Do I need to roll something for that or no?
Yes, you do need to roll an investigation check.
Oh, the squishy. I forgot I did the squishy.
Normal roll, yeah.
Yes, a normal roll.
Okay. That was
I don't know shit.
that was not a stellar perception check there. But
My investigation check by far.
So far, all you can see about this book is that it has a strange, deep red cover, and it exudes magic. However,
Well, that doesn't help.
do you choose to read it a little bit?
Sure.
All right. So, the first few passages you notice, it contains exercises. Its words are charged with magic. And you feel... Make a wisdom check. Okay. You feel curious about it, but you don't feel compelled to keep studying it for now. You eventually grow bored with it and decide to focus on the patrol with Corey.
no part
Corentin.
of that phrasing was in any way reassuring. I, as a player, am now worried about that book. Corey doesn't know what Okay, sorry.
That evil laughter don't make it any better.
Corentin. Surprisingly, there's not much around. You see a few sheep, a couple of gnarls, but the gnarls seem to be protecting the sheep. You also see a cute little, almost like a cat and a rabbit with very long ears, and it's pink, streak across the plains. Basically, you saw a pilot hare. But otherwise, for the next several hours, you don't see jack shit.
And unlike,
During this time...
And unlike me, Corey does not give the slightest bit of a shit about pilot hares. Goddamn elusive pink pain in the ass.
While they are on watch, Aleyna is currently perusing this book before finally leaving it on the table, open to a page marked with what looks to be a feather, and goes into her room. She's going to sleep. What is everyone else doing?
I'm just keeping watch with Corey.
Yep. Sitting on the roof.
What's Milford doing?
Strongly contemplating a sea potentially breaking out into a sea shanty. Deciding better of it because waking Aleyna up would lead to being murdered.
Actually, I want you to do a wisdom check, Corey.
I want to know what Milford's doing. Devon on mute again.
Come on. I'm up. What's up?
Did you fall asleep?
Yeah.
It's okay, sweetheart. It's an easygoing session. You're basically Milford went to bed. Okay? Milford followed Aleyna's example and just went to bed.
Alright, can you find a way to not have Milford in this session? I really don't feel good.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he's falling asleep, we should maybe not be doing this.
No, you guys go on. I'll read the recap.
It's mainly roleplay. We'll go to a couple of villages. Milford actually did get stung by the spine that Flikk'a had given him, and therefore now has to fight a bug for the next few weeks. So he's quarantined to quarters.
Yeah, I'll send you the journals for today's session so you can read them when it's time.
Yep.
Alright, love.
16, 17. 16, 17. I'll send them to you, DM, and you distribute them when you're ready.
Roger that.
Yep. I will do.
God. See you guys later.
Go.
Okay, good night.
Get some rest.
Yep.
Go on, hun.
Oh boy.
He is not a happy camper.
He's not feeling good. The stress has been getting to him, and he's been worried about me.
Well, hopefully he gets some good rest and feels better.
Hoorah.
Because Ashley's going to sneak into Corey's room and read some of his journal, by the way, while he's out.
Alright, I need a stealth check because these doors are squeaky. They have not been oiled yet.
Oh, seriously? It dropped from a 20.
I will say the good news is Corey's on the roof. He's not paying attention to his room.
You do, however, hear a as the door accidentally goes wide and slams.
Damn potholes. Well, nobody else seems to be sticking their head out, so she's going to go in anyway and grab his diary.
Strangely enough, you don't hear anything else from the others. You don't hear groaning from Milford. You don't hear anything from Aleyna. You're safe.
Awesome.
So the hallways aren't soundproofed, but the rooms are.
No Milford snoring. Good to know. Okay, he's pretty sure that Corey's not going to come into his room. He's out on the roof. He's happy. So she's going to flick through and read a few pages.
Oh boy.
Do you want me to roll something to get some pages?
Unless you just want
Roll
to go from the beginning. I don't actually know how many pages I have anymore.
Yeah, I think she read like page 4.
Let's see, she read the first 2 and then
So yeah, she'd flick through the front and around then to try and figure out what's going on.
Roll a d4, and that's how many pages you get before I make you roll the next check.
I got a 1.
So you read one page.
Okay, so you had already read the first 2 entries, which are on page 1, and then flipped to page 4.
Alright, so read page 2 then.
Give me a moment. I have to get into the accent, and I haven't needed to speak as Corey yet. September 15th, 1540. Found what little shops are in town. Spoke with a tailor about replacing some of the clothing I lost, and that should be ready next week. If I'm lucky, there'll be someone sailing out at some point, but I don't think it likely. I'll give it another month or 2, I suppose, enough for the search to die down in Aleyna. And if no passage out of this town turns up before then, I'll head back and try to commandeer a vessel of my own. Dangerous, I know, but it must be better than sitting here. September 16th, 1540. Bored, drunk, no one decent to speak to, let alone distract myself with. Hate this town already. And we were counting the full 2-page spread in my actual journal as 1 page last time, right? Okay, so that's
right.
2 more entries, and then the beginning of a third. September 17th, 1540. Took a bottle out to the water's edge and drank myself stupid last night. Woke up in the wrong room at the tavern, so naturally I left before anyone saw me and went back to the water. Don't recall if anyone's staying in that room, but I hope I've not pissed someone off somehow. Probably have, though. September 18th, 1540. At least the lass wasn't angry, but she's far less interesting without the rum in me. And not leaving until Friday, so I may need to hide somewhere. Not happy with my choices that night. Can't remember them, but they don't sit right anyway. She wasn't even interesting. And then at the bottom of the page, September 19th, 1540. Well, that was unexpected. She's heading north to check, and the page cuts off there.
Alright. I need a perception check from Asheari.
Perception.
You hear lowing outside, and you do hear the start of rain. However, the rain seems to be far off.
Will that make Corey happy?
Oh, no, it won't. Corey, perception check.
Oh dear. Where did perception go?
He is so on the ball.
You notice that the rain is about 30 feet above you.
Okay. The weather crystal!
Well,
And it's
that's
about a
interesting.
30 by 30 sphere.
That's very interesting.
So the back end of the caravan is not getting wet.
To be clear, this is a very clearly unnatural rain happening.
Yes. This is an
It'd be a
unnatural
dome of invisibility that the rain is falling on.
Think what Katara did, but at a much bigger scale.
Still don't understand why he wanted that thing. Just Corey judging. Muttering under his breath and judging.
Alright. You can roll another d4 and let's see how many pages you get, Asheari.
One. She's going to flick through to after they were on the ship.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's why she's flicking through.
Well, it still would have been interesting if you'd continued from where you were, but
She's not all that interested in his one night stands, although it was amusing.
oh, the
And
page
getting out of Dodge would have been.
the page after that actually gets very interesting, but she wouldn't know that.
She'll probably flick back to it again later, but yeah, she's at the mention of a ship, she's remembered a few things and wants to find out if he's written anything that she can find out, basically.
Okay, so that would put you at flipping through to either the page that ends on the 26th, which is the day before the ship, or the page after. Which would you prefer?
After.
Okay. So the first half of one side of the page is the end of the entry of the 26th. Would you like me to read that, or is Asheari just going to ignore that and start reading from the 27th?
No, she'd probably read it as well.
Worried she won't be up for it after that. Hopefully the three of us can handle any trouble, but someone will need to stay with her in case asshole comes looking. Much as I'd like to kick his ass properly, it won't be me. I intend to get a good look at that ship. Hopefully. Hopefully I've never seen it before. Unless it's the Star, I'd feel terrible looting a ship I knew. Of course, the Coral Star can sink for all I care. Some lines shouldn't be crossed. October 27th, 1540. I have a picture of him now. I missed those eyes. Ran into Flikk'a. They left her behind. She might stick with us, I think. Rough time on that ship. I'm going to apologize for Corey's language here first. Fucking shite job. I want to be clear, he uses that word very sparingly for a pirate, but he does occasionally use it. I just don't use it when we're role-playing, because I know it bothers you.
Thank you.
October 28th, 1540. We met Aleyna's brother yesterday. Gorgeous boy, sadly not interested. Apparently he's some sort of racer, and rides a beautiful creature named Slinky that sparks with lightning like I do. He told us a bit about their parents, and why Aleyna might have shifted her form yesterday. She turned into a tiny dragon. Milford lost his temper with a merchant last night. I sat down with him before we slept, and he told me a little more about his crew. Hades Rangers and how they died. I didn't tell him, but I let him know I'm well familiar with loss. Also, I swear, if Aleyna doesn't stop wandering off, I will put a bell on her. And then it skips from October 28th to November 1st. DM, can I just read straight through this one, even though it's not all on one page?
I want Asheari to do a perception check, listening for anything. And I am going to do something as well.
Because it does start on... Oh.
She is not paying attention today.
So here's what's on the page, at least. November 1st...
You can go ahead and continue reading.
November 1st, 1540. I'm sorry. I kept writing because... Dash. Just like, it stops and there's a little dash, like... of what I was taught on the first week, but... I've been too rattled since the ship. It's been a strange week. I spent most of it with Bowen and Slinky, learning a little of how to stay on such a magnificent beast, and trying to judge whether Bowen may yet change his mind on a bit of fun together. Though the longer I know him, the less that seems wise, even if he did. He's all too likable, and I can't. Not again. If you can read this, from whatever place the gods sent you to, whatever lies after for men like us, I am sorry I stopped writing this week, but I know you understand why. We leave for Calilea in the morning.
I should have known someone would be snooping through our stuff. Behind you, Asheari, is Aleyna, leaning against the doorway. Like, arms crossed. She's literally pulling that little bit of a cowboy lean.
Ash sort of jumps up, puts the diary behind her back, realises that looks really guilty, and... Sorry, I have to stop laughing. Stop laughing! You're making me laugh! Anyway, puts it behind her back, realises that makes her look even more guilty, pulls it out. I wasn't snooping, I just had to find out something, okay?
You best be getting on to bed. We've got watch in the morning. Milford's down sick for who knows how long. The healer's gonna come check on him. Stay away from his room.
I don't need to go anywhere near Milford's room. Bit worried about him, though. Seam will fix him up, she's great. And,
yes. I've already flown over to Seams and gotten chewed out for that. She'll be over in the morning. Right now, get some shut-eye. She actually uses her wing to gently beat on the roof. Y'all have watch. Keep us safe.
Aye, lass. It's what we're doing.
She yawns, goes back to her room, and goes back to sleep.
And Ash takes his book back where she found it. Mutters to herself, bugger, bugger, bugger. And,
Sorry.
Yeah, she's gonna go back. She's gonna go to bed and think about things and then go to sleep.
Alright, I need one more perception check from Corentin and from Flikk'a, neither at advantage.
Oh dear. That's generally a bad sign.
She is glad whatever Corey said to Milford seems to have helped. And that Milford is opening up to Corey, so...
Alright. You see a couple of wolves running alongside the wagon. But actually, Buffhead and Franklin, I believe is their names,
Yep.
stomp their feet enough to shake the wagon and Corey, and they scamper. The rest of your night is quiet, calm, and you get to watch as rain just slides away. So you get to kind of see how it is to be in nature in a bubble.
It's disturbing is what it is.
Alright. Now, come morning, Aleyna wakes up, goes into the washroom, and does not come out for about 20 minutes. But that is the first stirring you will hear inside the wagon. She's up by the crack of dawn. Corentin, Flikk'a, you look down as you see the path is still muddy. The rain may be off you, but the path is still muddy. And you see Seam trudging along in ankle-deep mud.
Oh, that's gonna make her impressed.
Going and pulling herself up into your wagon. What are you doing, Asheari?
She's up, and she's getting used to waking up early because everybody else does. Not that she's impressed with it, but hey, she's up, and she's just gonna start making breakfast. Nothing like a bit of breakfast to make the boys happy, and so yeah, she looks up and Seam, nice to see you this morning.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Let's just keep it at good morning today, Asheari.
I get the feeling morning is just about where you're at. Nothing good about it.
You see her cast a spell. You don't know what it is, but something surrounds her head. And she goes into Milford's room.
Anti-plague bubble, I'm guessing.
Sure, let's go with that. I don't know if there's an actual spell for it. I don't particularly care.
DM question. If the spine only caused paralysis, why has he got the plague?
He doesn't have the plague. He's been under a lot of stress, and that compromised his immune system.
Okay.
And we have been trudging through the mud for the last several weeks.
Yeah, you're mad. No wonder seems impressed.
He's been a hermit with no medical care for the last, I think it's 10 years?
Yeah.
And also, speaking of mud, look at the environment Goebbels live in. Who knows what kind
Swamp.
of germs that thing had on it.
That's true. If he got pricked by the spine, he probably got sepsis as well.
So, Seam goes into the room, and as you see her enter, a blue glow snaps onto the door.
She's going to go have a look at that because, what? She pokes a finger at it.
I want you to make a con save.
Oh dear.
My dice hate me today.
A little bit, yeah.
You feel all the way up to your shoulder, and your arm just drops.
Ow!
You hear a muffled voice, because apparently it does negate the sound cancellation for a bit. You don't want to touch the door. I've got it sealed against infection.
What's with the zombie?
Well, how else am I going to keep curious people out?
She stomps off with a limp arm.
I mean,
How
that
long is
seems
that
like a
going
fair
to
reaction.
Say again, Fen.
That seems like a fair reaction to being tased by a doorknob.
Yep.
So, Corey, from the roof, you hear all of this.
Or at least that sound. Wonder what's going on down there. Not sure I want to know.
You see Aleyna come out, and to y'all's shock, she's in a tank top. The only one who's seen her without her coat before now is Asheari. Her scar has healed up. It's now just a scar. It does not affect her eyesight in any way. She grabs her scythe, yawns, and pretty much snags part of breakfast. looking at Asheari like, you touched it, didn't you?
Yeah, Ash is grumpily tossing bacon from the fry pan onto the platter, and trying to do things with one arm while sort of shaking her shoulder and trying to get her arm working, and she's not. Yes. Finishes scrambling the eggs.
Are you having a stroke?
Does Flikk'a come down to have breakfast?
Yeah.
Corey, food, let's go. And then it's bed for you.
Not that that changes much. He sleeps up there anyway.
On the roof where I sleep.
Come down and eat. Now, Corey, it'll hit you that this female is younger than you. Bowen has told you how old she is. But that growl says if you don't get your ass down here, I'm yanking you down by your tail.
Yeah, that does not in any way change the fact that he's a little terrified of her. So.
Yeah.
I mean, like, simultaneously terrified and protective, but terrified.
I'm sure Corey's probably used to having his tail yanked by his older sibling anyway.
Yeah, he's already conditioned to that sort of obedience.
Yeah, he does come down for breakfast.
I need all of y'all to make perception checks.
I don't know why. I'm gonna get a 1. Ah, I got a 6.
Better than a 1.
See, this is why I switched to the new blue bottle dice.
Blue bottle dice don't like me, so I'm staying with my magic-y stuff.
I think I might switch my dice. My dice hate my face.
And you
That's
can't,
unfortunate. I happen to like your face.
you can't physically put the dice in dice jail, but you sure can switch what set you're using.
Yep. So I need one more perception check.
You need me to do it, or?
Yes,
Dice
I
of
need one
heroism.
from everyone.
Let's see if these dice like me.
Okay. Flikk'a,
The
you and
tieflings are paying
Corentin,
attention.
you and Corentin actually hear an almost sad chuckle from Aleyna. Almost reminds me of Rose. She bolts her food, grabs her staff, her scythe, flings it onto her back, and walks out without her trench coat, proceeding to do her patrol.
So we heard that?
Y'all heard that.
Ash didn't. She's too busy trying to get her now tingling arm back to working function while shoveling in bacon and eggs.
Your arm will return to function in about an hour.
So Corey just watches as she goes with this sort of, well, that's familiar sort of expression. Like, that tone pinged something in him.
I want Corey to make a wisdom save.
Save or a check?
Save.
Okay. Oh, that's fun.
Corentin, at the tone of her voice, you are suddenly hit with a memory. And it hurts. You feel the need to get back on that roof and away from people now.
Should I roll a perception to see if I notice this?
Yes.
I'd roll too, but I don't think she's going to pay much attention.
You can. I'll make your roll at disadvantage.
Damn, because you just paid attention. 8. There you go.
Yeah, you thought you caught something, but then your arms gave a massive tingle, and you're like, son of a bitch! So you're going mildly crazy.
She's mostly now sulking and finishes her breakfast. She's not going to do the dishes now because her arm is dead and she's got an excuse. So there. So she walks back to her room, looks through the blue void to check on Milford and what Seam is doing, but now wisely does not touch zappy things. Doesn't mean she's not going to touch anything else in the future, but hey, at least she's learned that lesson. And she's going to go into her room and read Milford's diary.
So yeah, Corey grabs food basically as quickly as he can, eats as quickly as he can, and like I'm deciding whether he would actually go up to the roof knowing that there will be people on watch, or whether he would actually go and sleep in his room for the first time.
Do I notice his shit or what?
You
roll a D100 and see what he does.
You do notice that Corentin is acting squirrely. Sorry, yours and Shally's came in at the same time.
Like, it's not unlike how he was acting after the ship, but, like, milder. And yeah, he eats and goes to his room.
Wow. That would be telling in itself.
Yeah. What are you going to do, Flikk'a?
Would he notice anything about the state of his room after Snoopy McSnooperson came in?
Snoopy McSnoofumson put his book back where she found it. So hopefully not.
But she was a little rattled at the time.
Yeah, true. So it may not be back where it should have been. Exactly.
Perception check at disadvantage.
Okay.
You are rattled.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, Corentin, you walk in and your sheets are a little mussed. And you don't seem to recall there being a ding in your door. Otherwise, what do?
Immediately check his bag. Just immediately.
Nothing is missing from your bags.
Does the journal seem like it's where he left it?
Surprisingly, yes. In her anger, she did manage to put the journal correctly.
But it does look like someone at least leaned against the bed or sat on the bed.
And you catch at the edge of the door a little bit of golden fur. Not a lot, but enough to suggest Aleyna had been leaning against the doorway.
Just
or possibly passed through it.
Looking around the room, just very baffled, checking the bed, checking everything. Nothing's
Nothing else is out of
missing, but
place.
it's very weird.
Nothing else is out of place. Your room is fine.
Opens the door back up. Just because I'm not bloody sleeping in it doesn't mean it's a bloody lounge, you know.
Slams the door again.
Aleyna's outside. She does not hear this.
You would, because he yelled it out in the hallway.
He's as loud as he can get, sticking his head out the door.
At this, you hear Aleyna laughing, like full on, almost gut busting laughing as she's walking alongside the caravan.
And as he sticks his face out the door to yell, he comes face to face with Flikk'a, who just blinks at him.
He goes through all the motions of that, including slamming the door afterwards. Blinks, opens it back up. I just want to sleep, Flikk'a. Good night.
You sure about that? You look like you've been... I don't know, but you look awful, dude. What's going on?
Something about what Aleyna said just sort of... It reminded me of how I felt after... You know. I don't know, there's something about... I do think something's up with her. Or rather that there's things that she doesn't talk about, same as I don't.
Well, I mean, I think by now it's pretty obvious that everybody in this screwed up caravan has something or other they're trying to keep from everybody else. At this point, do you really think that's too out of the ordinary?
Fair enough.
Speaking of trying to keep things from people, you look like you've seen about 50 ghosts.
I've just been very rattled lately. I don't know. trying to put it out of my head. Think sleep will do me some good.
That may very well be, but if you keep trying to put things out of your head that crop up like that, don't you think that's just gonna kind of be a band-aid rather than a solution?
It's worked for years at this point.
But it ain't getting no better, is it?
No. No, I suppose it isn't.
So sleep on it, and then nut up and tell me what's going on.
It's just the same shit. I miss Evel.
Well, that's understandable, but that doesn't seem to be what's actually bothering you at the moment.
No, it is. It's just... Well, no. It is, but it isn't. The more time I spend with this group, the more they get under my skin. And I know that's not really a bad thing usually, but... Since Evel died, I don't get close to people, Flikk'a. Not in a long time.
Well, maybe you're due then. I've known you for how long now? You need a crew in order to be you. You need someone to show off with and annoy. You need somebody to have your back when you get your ass in trouble like you normally do.
Alright. You're not wrong.
So, I'd say if you're having the feelsy-weelsies for the rest of this crew, you should probably just enjoy it while you can.
I just don't want to lose anyone again.
Dude, I know. I get that. Like, I was stranded without my entire crew for a really long time before I located your ass.
We are going to deal with that, and someone is getting an ass kicking. Just a warning.
And that's very, very true, and I agree with you, but while we got them, we may as well enjoy the feeling of having a new crew. There is nothing wrong with that.
Aye. You're right. You usually are. Never.
I mean, if you haven't figured that out by now.
And I never said that. But you usually are. I will never admit again that I said that.
That's okay. I have minor illusion. I could repeat that back to you anytime.
As a reminder, I do know where you sleep again.
That's true. But I'll just haunt your ass. Point is, get some sleep, and then we'll figure this shit out. You're not alone, and your crew has your back. And if they don't, they answer to me.
Aye. Thank you, Flick. You get
Yep.
some rest as well. You were up reading that... whatever that was.
I couldn't concentrate on it to save my life. I'll have to look it over again some more later.
Good luck. Sleep well. And he closes
Can't have
the door.
something, right?
So I go back to wherever my room is, put Griff in his special little bed, and chill for a while after saying goodnight to Corey.
Do you want to give one last try to reading the book?
Yes.
Now that you've felt the magic, you are aware of it. I will give you a chance. At advantage. Give me an investigation check. It hits you a little later. This is a magical tome of understanding.
Ooh, what does that mean?
If you spend 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer studying the book's contents and practicing its guidelines, something will happen. But
Okay, so I'm gonna.
You have to
what?
actually study it.
Oakley dokley, I'll do that for whatever time I have left till I fall asleep, and then I'll pick it up some more when we have another stop and I'm not doing other shit. This child of mine is cannibalizing jack-o'-lantern innards.
What?
He got a tiny pumpkin from one of the neighbors and he carved out a face in it, and now he's eating the insides.
Cook it first! At least bake the seeds. Okay.
Raw pumpkin tastes nice.
It smells like a Starbucks. He needs to get it out of here.
Alright. Asheari. Alrighty. So, as this goes on, you are now studying this for about 2 hours until you doze off, leaving 46 hours to go. Ah!
Okay, so Ash is in her room, sulking because her arm's still numb and tingly and not working properly, but she was going to read some more of Milford's diary while everyone was occupied.
Alright. Now, during all the chaos, you only get 2 entries. April 2nd, 1530. I've just received the most disturbing report from one of my scouting parties. My rangers get restless, so I let them patrol the woods and some of the plains around Sainte Marie in order to let off some steam and get out of the city. Sybil and Gerald came to me breathless and rambling about a massive camp just half an hour's march from the city. The camp was full of demons. My scouts estimated at least 3,000. They recognized the banner of General Thareth, the head of the Western Army for Shadowfell. If his standard was present, then we can expect an attack. I've alerted the commanding officer of the regulars, and he said he would take it under advisement. Entry 17, April 5th, 1530. They're gone! Those chicken shit little cowards! In the night, the regulars were ferried out of the city on ships, leaving us a small force of locals to defend the city from an attack of thousands. I've mustered my men, handed out our strongest potions and weapons, assigned them the heaviest armor they could handle. This would be war, and it was not going to end well. At that, you hear a bang on the side of your wall. Come on, we've got patrol.
Is her arm still numb?
No, your arm's fine.
Yay! Coming! And she tucks that back into her bottom of her bag. And, is Seam still there?
Seam is actually just about to leave. She's committing a cleansing spell so that she does not infect the rest of the guard. AKA y'all.
Good plan. Liking that plan. So how's he doing, Seam?
He will need rest for a few weeks, but he will recover. I will bring him fluids every day.
Okay. Bit worried about him.
He's
had a bit of a rough week.
I've heard. Now, I believe you are due for patrol?
Yes, Aleyna just called. Mustache.
Well, when you finish, I will have some blackberry tea waiting. I believe it's a staple of Linden.
It is very good. And I will continue that story we left off when I last saw you. So she gives her a wave, and now that she's got her arm back, she waves it to show that it's working, and gives a grin. And goes out and climbs up on the roof via the ladder that now is there. And acts as lookout, see if she can see anything.
As you do this, a shadow passes overhead. And you see Aleyna stretching her wings and just getting some exercise as she gets a bird's eye view. Only she's dripping on you.
Ah!
She went outside the bubble.
Now you're gonna smell like wet fur!
Excuse me, I don't smell like wet fur. I'm a mercenary, I know better.
That's what you think.
That's what she said?
Yeah, that's what she said. She kind of muttered it out of the side of her mouth. That's what you think. Anyway, good to see your, good to see your rings feeling better, obviously.
Oh, yes. Much better. She grabs... I want this to be a contested strength roll. Roll strength.
Oh, that's gonna end well.
She picks your little 3-foot ass up and you go straight up out of the dome into the rain, and you see miles of flatland. And I want you to make a perception check at advantage. After you make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, well, first of all, there's going to be shrieking out of surprise. Wisdom. Oh. Well, it was a 1, I think. And,
Perception at advantage. You're still shrieking your head off.
Just as well it was an advantage. Okay.
You spot on the horizon about 60 feet away a large, hulking beast with limbs dragging on the ground, and though there is rain, you see wisps of smoke. And your neck above your sternum starts to feel warm.
Uh-oh.
The tooth.
Okay. Okay, so first of all, shrieking, what are you doing? wow, look at all that. Whoa, what's that?
Will you shut up? You want to attract everything in the sky?
It's not things in the sky that I'm worried about. It's that thing down there. Look.
Well, I'll be damned.
Also, owl hot, and she pulls out the tooth on the cord. Is it glowing or anything?
It's pulsing slightly. This is the dragon that the tooth came from. This is the breed.
Yeah, I was going to say that one was dead.
Yeah. You are staring at an adult Gore Magala, who is just ambling along, minding its own business. And then you see it spread its wings, scream out a roar, take off, and it passes within 10 feet of you. You feel the wind and the grittiness of the dust, but it doesn't affect you. You have now gotten another piece to your story.
Well, at least I know what they look like now.
You have seen an adult in the flesh. And Aleyna plummets down, sharply air braking right above the wagon top, and drops you on the hard part.
Oof. Okay, what was that?
Landing and just kind of panting. That was a workout.
You know what I mean.
Oh. I don't know. Never seen one. I never saw them in the Black Sand Desert.
They look like they could have come from there, though. I mean, it was dripping sand off it or something. It was gritty.
I wouldn't know. I was too busy trying to fly and keep your squirming ass up.
I was trying to have a look. Look, my tooth, it was well, it's not now, but it was.
Put that away and get back to watch. She walks off without a word.
Ashley sort of mutters about fat lot of help you were. But
you actually watch as her ear tweaks back. Say that again when I can reach you, and I will knock you off that wagon.
She pokes her tongue at her back.
Yeah. We are going to go ahead and make that a projectile strike, so...
She wouldn't have seen it if her back was turned. You have to do a perception check before you notice it.
She has a feeling that a teenager is being smart-assed, and she's being a child. So, does a 15 hit?
Oh, hang on a minute, probably. Let me see, what is her... Yes, it just hits. Damn.
You get a face full of mud. And you just hear warm laughter from her. Like unbridled, calm happiness.
She's going to wipe the mud off, stomp her foot.
Right over Corey. Right over
Goes to give her another tongue and, thinks better of it.
I'm gonna play a random happy song to try to get everyone to stop bickering.
Well, Aleyna's laughing. She's not bickering.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
As she's still on the roof, just sort of looks down and rolls her eyes. Yeah, she's going to have to come down and wash the mud off now because there's no rain, because they've now got she now understands why Corey's sort of whining about the thing. So yeah, she comes back down and goes to the kitchen and washes her face.
Okay, so for the next several hours, Corey and Flikk'a are sleeping. They get a long rest. Seam is actually smiling, watching Aleyna relax and play up a little.
Ash is plotting revenge regarding mud pies in the face, but is on the top of the wagon keeping a lookout like she's supposed to be doing.
Alright. Perception check, both of us. Standard roll.
What? Oh, I must have still had it on advantage. Damn.
I'll give it to you this time. Just pay attention.
Yeah, they don't revert. I have to look at it. I didn't. The first one was a 12 anyway, so it would have been a 12.
So, you're walking, you're bored. You come across the first village you've seen since leaving Rishia, which has only been about a day.
Is this the same day they hit the Goebel?
No, this is the next day, because it was overnight that they traveled.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because Corey was on watch. Yep.
Yes. So this is about, I'd say, a 12, 13-hour jaunt from Rishia. It's a small village. They stop, they trade. You spot a couple of hunters here and there from a banner marking a guild. But you don't recognize this guild. What are y'all
Can I
gonna do?
Can I do like a street performing thing to earn a little gold?
You can. I need a performance check after you get permission from Ifreen and her husband.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go find those people then.
Ifreen's in the wagon behind you. The husband is in the front wagon with the Zenogre.
Which is about half a mile. It's a long wagon.
Well, I'm gonna hop on my griffin and I'm gonna go talk to the dude first, I guess.
He's actually sitting with his currently resting Zenogre.
Hey, I thought I might.
Sorry.
I thought I'd do a little performing, see if I can get a little jangle in my pocket, if you know what I mean. You mind?
No, by all means. Don't you have another bard that can help?
I intended to invite him once I knew for sure we were going to be able to do it.
Have at it. If they're willing to pay.
Fantastic. I'm going to go get little bro and we're going to go do it up.
I don't think that's the bard he meant, but yeah.
Wait, wrong bard. You know the one I mean.
Okay, now that they've arrived at a town, Ash technically isn't on watch anymore, so she comes down and goes and visits Seam because that's what she does.
Hello, little one.
Have I got some news for you? You know how I said I was going to find out more about this this tooth from that strange skeleton? Well, there was a living one outside, and it flew right over, and the tooth sort of reacted to it. I mean, do dragon teeth normally react to the other dragons?
It depends. Not normal dragons, but the realms here have special dragons. Elder dragons. Did you see what it was?
Yeah, it was huge, it was black, it was dusty. Why would it be dusty?
Sounds like it was a Magala.
So you do know what it was?
I had my suspicions.
Are they
But-
common around here?
Oh, heavens, no. Gormagalas usually hang around the Shadowfell area. But they were
Yeah,
hunted
Aleyna-
almost to extinction at the last demon war.
Yeah, Aleyna said she didn't recognise it or anything. So it probably was.
I highly doubt Aleyna's seen much of anything.
Oh, I know she's got a head up her ass, but she's not too bad.
So you say.
Yeah, I'm sort of starting to like this weird group. They're growing on me.
Oh, and the screaming was an indication of trouble? How did you see it, anyway?
Aleyna decided I needed to learn how to fly, apparently. It was really
Aleyna
cool.
did what?
Yeah, she was flying. Is she not allowed to fly yet?
She's supposed to be taking it easy lest she restrain that wing and cripple it.
Not the move she was doing.
Proceed.
You
See her take a long drink of her tea.
Yeah, and I can see her sort of grabbing the bridge of her nose too. Tell the story. Anyway, yeah, she grabbed me off the roof, and she swooped in and grabbed me off the roof. She was really fast, and it was really cool, and we went really high, and then we saw the Gormagon thing, and it was on the ground, and then it flew up right past us, really close. It was all black and shimmery, and like I said, dusty. I don't know why it was dusty. And then the tooth started to get really hot and and I pulled it out, and Aleyna kind of freaked out at the dragon. She dove down and swooped up and really, yeah, almost dropped me on the roof, I think. But I think she broke really hard, and yeah, it was pretty cool, but I don't know if she was supposed to be doing that if you're looking like that at me.
The look of pure irritation. Of promise. Of pain.
Yeah, that's why she sort of, yeah, how much more should I say? She pretty much said everything.
Continue.
And then she threw a mud pie at me.
I saw that. Well, it seems you've had an eventful patrol.
Well, it was interesting, but not very fruitful.
Isn't that your other bard friend coming up to the wagon?
It is. She's, she gets some getting used to, too, but I'm starting to like her as well.
Oh no, I gotta try harder.
Sorry.
You best go see what she wants. Enjoy your tea.
Thank you. It was good. Can I have a piece of fish for Traitor?
I'm afraid we're out of fish. At least till the next river.
Rats. Okay. I'll have to bribe him some other way. And she takes...
Nice around.
He's not exactly that size anymore. Did you know he grew bigger?
She says nothing.
She takes her leave, and I'm assuming that he's rideable size now.
Yep.
Yep. So she bounces up. She doesn't have anything to offer it, but she really wants to make friends with it because she likes little Trader, even though he's not so little at the moment.
He kind of leans in and sniffs, and you can see his nares expand with a big huff of breath that ruffles your hair when he snorts in your face.
She probably still smells a bit like breakfast of bacon. And she's silently cursing herself for not remembering to... she's going to hide some bacon on her person from now on. Just to suck up to the griffin. But she reaches out and gives its beak a little stroke. So what are you doing, Flikk'a?
Well, the griffin starts giving birdie nibbles to her arm, almost taking her whole forearm into his beak. Not hurting her, but you know how parrots do.
Yeah. It's
And
a little
she's like-
licking.
Yeah, the little nibble licks.
Yeah.
He's looking for the bacon. And Flikka''s like, let's go make some cash. I got permission. We can do a little street show, make a little gold. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Awesome! I love the money.
And then we get advantage on our performance check because we're both doing it.
Exactly.
And she learned.
She learned it.
As you get, are you going to get on the back of Trader and make a spectacle entrance into this village?
Yes, we're using a cantrip of minor illusion to bring in fog and dancing lights to like a wrestling entrance.
As you're doing this, you hear in the background, I thought I said not to go flying!
And I leap off of the griffin and float to the ground with feather fall so I don't hurt myself. Like, who's flying? I'm not flying. That was falling with style.
It would strike you she was yelling at Aleyna.
Yeah.
I think
It wasn't me!
I think at this point Corey comes up to y'all. I think Aleyna's in trouble.
All part of the show, folks.
Ash does some acrobatic tumbles with a bit of her usual flourish, although I'm not sure it looks as flourished now that she's in armour instead of her usual carnival clothes, but you know.
I'm just
She
a
can move.
regular pirate garb, and I'm playing my instrument while you're doing your acrobatic routine.
I want both of y'all to make performance checks at advantage.
Could do it at super advantage.
No.
Wow.
You don't need it. So, Shally, as you are jumping, tumbling, you even catch the slips and turn them into graceful dancing slides. Flikk'a, you turn this music into nothing short of a spectacle. Your dancing lights becoming spotlights and lasers for her to jump over. You move in tandem as they start stomping, hooting, hollering. And next thing you know, it's showers of copper, silver, gold, and... Hang on. Heads it's Flikk'a, tails it's Ash. It's tails. Ash, you feel a coin ping off your head.
She
Coin.
Make it rain! They don't call me a storm sorceress for nothing.
Ash, you look at this coin and it's not a normal silver. It's almost shimmery.
Ooh. Is it platinum?
It is platinum. One of the villagers just threw a platinum at you. You end in a flourish and y'all are invited to the feast. You see a great elk, trussed up, horns off to the side, hide rolled up neatly. And it's roasting slowly.
Corey's just watching all of this because he came to watch the performance. And is just thinking to himself, well, this is a much fancier village than the last few. I like it.
There are some perks to being this close to Rishia.
But it's interesting because there weren't a lot of perks to Rishia.
Of course, we have to make note that we gathered up all of the thrown money when the performance was done, and we're splitting it 50-50.
Yep.
That's it. How much did we get?
Grand total to be split by you two. You picked up 30 gold, 10 silver, and 40 copper.
And Ash's 1 platinum, which she tucked away.
And Ash's 1 platinum.
Now I gotta find where to put this shit.
So that's
okay, so 15 gold each.
Yeah, 15
right.
Gold, 5 silver, and 20 copper. There's my money. Okay, so 1 platinum. What did I say?
Okay, I need...
Let's take a break while they tally up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
You know exactly what that tone is. That is, I need like 3 minutes because I've had too much water.
Alright, recording end. We are taking a break.
Okay.
I think I got mine figured out, and since you got the platinum and I didn't see it happen, keep it for yourself.
Okay.
She did.
Stopping recording. I will be right back.
I was just letting you know as a player, I'm not going to be mad at you for that. I would have done the same thing.
Anybody else?
That's the most money she's seen in her whole entire performing career.